It's a feeling you have to get out of people. You have to earn it, you know? Um, but I feel really forgiven right now, if that's what you mean. So because I feel forgiven, I feel compelled to forgive, you know? Okay. So, yeah, so mind you, like I'm still like low key laughing about like my like how like disparate my options are at the on campus. And like before, like people like my friends, they go to start talking, they go to start responding, but then they stop and they're like, wait, no. They're like Lola, it can't be that bleak. Like there has to be somebody that you like at least. And like the way they said that, I felt like I had said something rude. And I was like, no. I was like, I rolled my eyes back at them, and then I was like, no, it's just the classes I'm taking. Like, y'all know the types of classes I'm taking. There's nobody like scoreable in there. I said something like that, and they were like, oh, okay. Mm. And then, but that's because I wasn't in the mood. Because I was like low key kind of hurt. Because like honestly, I think I don't know. I remember I told them I was like, there's something I really wanted to buy, but I'm pretty sure there was probably something else on my mind. But I wasn't in the mood to answer, and I remember that's why I was like being kind of like a little bit like annoying. And so then yeah, so then my friends, they started talking about like, oh, like there's this boy, I think he's cute, but you know the deal, you know how these boys are, like da da da. And then I like finally I get the like, I get the charisma to chime in, and I'm like, no, I don't know these boys. Like that's the thing. And then right as I'm talking, like right as I chime in for the very first time, the security guard walks up to us and he starts talking to us. I wish I remember I think the first thing he said to us was like, oh, like ice cream, good choice. Or something like that. And he's like, so like where are you guys from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Asking us. And then we're like, yeah, like we're all students at the boarding school. Like we're in high school. And honestly, I know, I know this is really terrible, but I got really annoyed at them because I was like, I know he's a security guard, but like, why are we telling our business so freely? But I guess I was like, you're right. He is a security guard, so we have to tell him everything. Um, whew. So they get to rapping, they get to telling him that, and then we start like all of a sudden we're giving like introductions and like our life stories and all of that. I'm like, I'm like a little taken aback because I'm like, yeah, I know he's a security guard, but like he, I did remember Clueless. Actually, I watched the movie a few times, so jokes on you. Um, but yeah, so um we're like talking, we're like giving our like introductions, and then we're giving like our life stories because now all of a sudden he's like, oh, so where's everybody from, as if it's like a Comedy Central stand-up set. I don't even know who Stacey Dash is. I'm gonna look her up after this. Who is Stacey? Let me find out who Stacey is. um yeah, and so now he's like kind of like joking and like playing around with us, and he's like, yeah, so where's everybody from, da, da, da. And then like I guess I said something, or like my face, because I like got like I like wasn't talking, but I hadn't been talking. I remember distinctly, I hadn't been talking like that the whole time, so I had been quiet the whole time. So I think at some point the security guard, he's like, I think there was like a pause when he asked like, "So where are we all from?" And we were like, because we were like, subtly trying to figure out who's going first. And then he looks at me and he's like, "You haven't been talking that much. You go first. Where where are you from?" Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly how I felt. It's like you're reading my mind. Like, that's exactly what I was trying to say, but I didn't have I had the vocabulary to say it, but I didn't have the words to say it. Or I had the words to say it, but I didn't have the vocabulary to say it. And so he's like, you go first. Introduce yourself. And then, because now he's being like aggressive with me. And I'm like, I'm from, I don't know. I probably at first I told him I'm from Washington, D.C. And he was like, and like I was like about to say something else, and before I could finish, he was like, "Really? Where at?" And I was like, actually, I'm from just outside of Washington, D.C. I'm from Maryland. I don't know if you're familiar with the county. It's called Prince George's, because this is like high school me, so I'm still shy. I'm still shy. And so I'm like, it's like called Prince George's. I don't know if you've heard of it. And then I look at him and he's like, "No, never heard of it." And he just looks at me. He's like, "So what else?" I'm like, I have a few siblings, and I have like, this many amount of siblings, and I started like talking about my siblings. He's like, "Oh, a big family. That's what that is." And I'm like, I have a New Hampshire accent. Why would you say that? Why would you say that to me right now? Why would you say that like you know me, huh? So, yeah. And then like him and we like get into like a staring contest or whatever, because he's being all weird and I'm like trying to like think about my life story. And I think he like says something to me. He's like, "Oh, it shouldn't be that hard. It's your life story. Why are you pausing so much?" And then I remember I almost rolled my eyes at the security guard, because I was like, "You interrupted me." Oh, yeah. I remind you that I'm joking. Yeah, that's where I was. That's where so I just might have an accent for real. Who knows? And I almost rolled my eyes at the security guard, and that's when my eyes got all big. And then as soon as my eyes got all big, he turned around and he was like, "So what about the rest of you?" And then they all started like mumbling their life stories. High school me at the time wasn't sure if they started mumbling because they were afraid of being interrupted too, or if they felt some type of way about the conversation that him and I had already had. Ooh, oh. I try to rep New Hampshire, but like people get so mad at me when I be repping New Hampshire. It's like, because nobody knows New Hampshire. You know what I'm saying? People don't understand New Hampshire. So I I it's hard to like when I do things that are very New Hampshire or like frelky, people are like confused or like, is it the 1970s? And I'm like, no, it's the New Hampshireese. But thank you for saying that. Thank you. Um yeah. And so like they start like mumbling their stories, and then I forgot what he said, something. I think he's like, "Yeah, be safe out here, girls. I'm looking out for you all the time." But also literally the least amount of black people in America. Literally the least amount of black people in America. Quite literally. I looked up the numbers. That was the most traumatizing statistic I've ever seen. And I know there's going to be arguments about that, but the most traumatizing statistic I've ever seen. So, yeah. And then he like goes to walk away. And then all my friends are like, oh, I'm tired. I'm so tired. Let's go back to campus. And I'm like low key kind of heated because I'm like, honestly, I feel like I low key, I must have wanted to Cinnabon or something because I don't know why I was so mad. But I was really heated. I was like, I wasn't ready to go yet. But I was like, but all of them were like, they're like, oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. And then we're all about to go back. And then my roommate's like, she's like, wait, I forgot something. And then she goes in there. And then she's in there for like maybe 30 minutes or less. I don't think it was more than 30 minutes because I don't believe that any of us have the patience to wait more than 30 minutes. I do. Well, no. I I want to believe there is. That's what I mean. I want to believe there is. But I don't know if I can. I don't. Just because I want to believe something doesn't mean I can believe it. And then, like, she comes back. And then my friend is like, homegirl's like, oh, that was fast. And then we all look at her confused. And then she, like, looks like teary eyed. And then that's the end of the story. Then we wait on the shuttle to take us back to campus. And, like, the whole time, like, homegirl is trying to talk to my roommate, and my roommate is like really upset, and I can't tell if she's like being weird or not because I had already been upset, so I couldn't tell if she was just being weird or what was going on. Because I, like I said, this is one of the few times I'd spent time with them, and I wasn't as close with them as they were with each other, and so she was really upset, and the whole time homegirl was like trying to get my roommate to talk, get my roommate to say something, but she kept glaring at everyone, and I feel like she was glaring at me in particular. And then she was just really upset. And then we got back to the room, and like she was really upset. We got back to the room, we got back to the dorm, and she was like, I was like trying to say something to her like gently, and she like spazzed on me, and then she was, you know what? I just need a moment alone. And then she smirks, goes to her room, and I think that was like literally the falling out that her and I had. But yo, I bet you now that I remember the story, everybody is and their mom is gonna come out with the new version of the story. But I want y'all to know, like, I have a photographic memory. So I don't know. Like, people have always been telling me like I have a photographic memory. They used to call me like human calculator and all that. Like, I have a photographic memory. But it's just like, I don't know. Those girls, I don't like to hang out with them as much because they're kind of fake. That's when I realized they were kind of fake because she was acting all upset and she never told me why she was upset. So I was forced to believe that the reason why she was upset wasn't something that I could understand. And so I had to leave it alone to a certain extent. Like I kept reaching out to her. We did rekindle our relationship, but we were never as close after that. But that was her of her volition because she was the one who was upset with me. I was confused the entire time. I was incredibly confused the entire time. You haven't been listening to what I've been saying. Oh, actually, you have the story. The story. I'm sorry. See, like now I'm getting upset just thinking about what happened. I'm The story is I have this like figurine that looks exactly like the security guard. and I couldn't remember who the figurine reminded me of until this very moment. And it's like I used to remember that story because that was like, I don't want to say it was traumatic, but that was like a significant moment in my life. Like I literally lost a friend. Like she was my roommate. We lived in the same dorm. I lost like, and I couldn't understand why. Like she just got real mad all of a sudden. Like really mad. And then I think one of us might have on the shuttle when I met accidentally made a joke like, "Oh, like were you scoring somebody?" Because that's what we were talking about earlier. And then she got really mad. She was like, "So what if I was?" And then she like yelled at us, and it was just like really messy. Like everyone on the shuttle was looking at us. And like I was so confused. Like I said, I didn't know these girls at all. They spoke with each other. They had given my roommate tours. They had given my roommates all these like special treatment, special access, all those things. And it was like I remember they were all trying to go together, and then at the very last minute, they were like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, Lola, do you want to come too if you have time?" Like they said it like I'm pretty maybe that's why I was mad and I had an attitude because I didn't want to be there in the first place. I did, and I know it's bad. I know it was like a high schooler, but it was just like I was like, I don't, and because I remember as we were like the way it started, like we were talking, they kept cutting me off. They kept like talking about things that they knew I wouldn't know about because they knew I was like a new sophomore. Like they were being like real shady, and I think at that point I was like, why did y'all even invite me to the mall? Like I felt personally attacked.